Those on the roadways need to watch their speed. A new law went into effect July 1st, and it's aimed at giving harsher penalties for those excessively speeding. The law is aimed at drivers going 50 miles per hour or more over the posted speed limit, or someone who is driving at 100 miles per hour or more. If you're a first-time offender, you could face up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. If you break the law a second time, you could face a $1,000 fine and 90 days in jail. Within 5 years, if you break the law a third time, your license could be suspended for 180 days or a year.
In the criminal justice system, street racing offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Street Racing Prevention Unit. These are their stories.
Officers with Florida Highway Patrol say that the consequences are determined at the time of the incident depending on traffic, the conditions, and the officer's discretion.
You're going 50 over the speed limit on a 25 miles per hour. We're talking about a speed limit of about 75, 80 miles per hour, depending where we're at. 75, 80 in a zone where people live is not, I would say, safe. Versus you're going 50 miles the speed limit over a 70 miles per hour zone. Now we're talking about 120 miles per hour. Now you're definitely going to wrap yourself around a tree or hurt somebody else.
Basically, I'm claiming fair use to report on the news in this case. And this Florida super speeder law is just one of a few laws that they've recently put in place, which is basically declaring war on anybody who has muscle cars, anybody who has fast pony cars like Mustangs, anybody who has exotic cars and chooses that they want to actually use the goddamn thing and drive it. You see, the sad reality is that these cars are designed with track performance in mind, but here's the problem. Nobody's using no goddamn track. I live in New York City. There ain't no goddamn tracks anywhere around here. Our idea of a track is the Southern State Parkway, the Northern State Parkway, or possibly for some of these idiots in these little BMWs, maybe the Van Wyck. But you get the point. It's basically, public highways, and they're if Florida is a state that I never would have expected to put this law into effect first. I would have expected California, or I would have expected New York to put this type of law into effect first. California already has a no-fix, no-forget ticket that they give to people with exhaust systems that are extremely loud. So if you have a Lamborghini, the cops will pull you over and they'll be like, your Lamborghini has to be in freaking Corsa mode or whatever it is. There's a mode that I think it's Strata. Strata mode is for the street, and Corsa mode, I think, it's for the track. But basically, the baffles that are active baffles underneath the car where the exhaust system is, if you are driving around and that stuff is open and the cops pull you over, they basically can give you a $1,000 ticket that you can't just fix and forget. They can give you a ticket just for violating a noise ordinance, basically. Shortly after California put that law into place, you had New York. They put together the New York Sleep Act. In fact, I can pull that up right here, the New York Sleep Act. Now, honestly, I'm not upset about the New York Sleep Act because my problem is you get a lot of these stupid assholes who have these horribly shit cars, and they have these muffler systems that they've taken parts out of the muffler system. And then you got to listen to them with that two-step garbage exhaust. Now, they're driving around in a slow-ass Honda Civic or some stupid Honda Accord or some stupid BMW, used BMW 3. And you got to hear that shit at night. And I've had a couple of morons who drive up and down like the block, and you gotta like you're trying to sleep and you gotta listen to that nonsense. But let me tell you something. Since the New York Sleep Act took effect, I ain't got to hear that shit no more. We've got cameras. We got automatic cameras, and if you pass that camera and you have a violation, if you have this exhaust system, that shit is violatable. You're getting a ticket in the mail, a big fat ticket. And if you don't pay it, they suspend your license, they suspend your registration. And if you, I'm big and bad, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, okay. So the cops here have cameras all over their cars. When you pass by a cop car, the cop car automatically reads your license plate. Instantaneously, they know if you have an inspection sticker up to date, a registration sticker up to date, and insurance up to date. Because all three of those things work together. It might as well just be one thing, but they all work together. And as soon as you pass by the cop car gets a hit, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, I got to go arrest that guy. So he turns around, pulls your ass over. And then you got these people now, criminals, who think that they can just drive away from traffic stops. Let me tell you something. I'm sick and tired of watching these punk cops pull these people over and then just let them drive off. No, if I was a cop, I would do so much damage to your car if you tried to pull off that you'd have to pull over, because between your busted windows and holes in your tire, I would do so much damage to that car. Like if I decide that you're getting arrested, you're getting arrested. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. But these cops, I've been watching these cops, they got the car boxed in, and the car is trying to fight his way out and trying to figure out. Man, let me tell you something. Cops carry those quick knives. I'd take that knife right in your tire. All four of your goddamn tires. How much are these tires each? What, $300, $400? Just like that. You're not getting away. But fortunately for you, I'm not a cop. Because not only would I do it, I'd get away with it in court too. I'd be like, yeah, well, he was trying to drive away and I feared for my life. I was standing in front of his car and it looked like he accelerated towards me. So when I emptied my clip, I feared for my life. Verily, I feared for my life. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I'm getting sick and tired of these cops letting these people. First of all, if you're getting arrested, you're getting arrested. The best you can do is pull over. You have the right to remain silent, blah, blah, blah. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. If you cannot afford an attorney will be provided to you on the expense of the state, blah, blah, blah. But this whole shit about people escaping? No. That's unacceptable. If I was a cop, you best believe, first of all, we would be confiscating cars. And I'd be driving around in a confiscated state trooper Hellcat with a freaking push bar on it. So basically, there's no possible way you're escaping from it, especially if you got a BMW. Keep in mind, bullets travel faster than cars do. Just keep that in mind. So anyway, I'd have a black Hellcat with a push bar on it, and there's no escape. It's just that simple. There's no escape. In fact, I would have the red eye engine in that shit, and the state would be paying for it. It would be a confiscated car, and the state would be paying for it, and there's no escape. Between me, the helicopter, and my Glock 17, there ain't no escape. It's just that simple. But these cops are chumps now. I'm getting tired of these people. In fact, you got these Generation Z cops, and they're like losers. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of seeing it. If I would have the real stories on a highway patrol, everybody gets locked up. It's just that simple. I gotta stop hitting my table because I just knocked over my Bud Light Lime Marita. Gotta be careful with that. So anyway, where was I? So here we got this super speedo law. 104 mile per hour super speeder arrested minutes after new Florida law went into effect. Okay, so it's new. It's now an arrestable offense, right? So all these dudes going down there renting Lamborghinis, renting Huracans. I hate Huracans because they're boring. They only have a V10, but the new one, the Temerario, is shit because it has like a twin. It has like a V8. It doesn't even have a V10, so that actually makes you miss the Huracan. I always considered that cheap. But anyway, if you're doing 104 miles per hour, it's an arrestable offense. So it says a driver going 104 miles per hour was arrested minutes after the law began July 1st. The law targets excessive speeders with jail time and fines. Officials urge safe, smart driving ahead of the busy July 4 travel weekend. Orlando, Florida. A driver clocked 104 miles per hour on Monday, became the first person arrested under Florida's new super speeder law, which allows troopers to jail motorists traveling more than 100 miles per hour, or at least 50 miles per hour over the posted limit. What we know, just 2 minutes. So you volunteered to be the first person who gets caught, you stupid moron. So anyway, 2 minutes after the law went into effect, 12:01 a.m. on July 1st, a driver was clocked at 104 miles per hour on the I-4 in Orange County, making them the first person arrested under the new statute. The new law targets drivers going over 100 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour above the posted limit, allowing for immediate jail time and steep fines. The Florida Highway Patrol says the individual was stopped in a 70 mile per hour zone. What we don't know, authorities have not released the name of the driver or the specific You could bet that you could look it up easily on one of those computers. But anyway, the backstory is super speed law was passed as part of Florida's broader traffic safety push designed to reduce extreme speeding and prevent fatal crashes. The law now treats high-speed violations with stricter penalties, up to 30 days in jail and a $500 fine for first-time offenders. Second-time violators face up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Big picture view. Now, you know what? Now, here's the thing. Okay, so that's the story right there. You can read about this shit yourself. If it was me, this is what I would do. Like, if I was in charge, like if I was president or something, what I would do, and I've said this before, the left lane would be set aside for people who want to drive fast, right? But you would have to pay for a special license. And that license, like when you pull out a regular driver's license, like I have my driver's license, it's like a white card and it's got your picture on it. No, I would have a driver's license, maybe a white card with a red stripe on it. And that red stripe signals to the cops that you've paid extra money that allows you to exceed the speed limit, let's say by about 50 miles per hour. So and maybe you got to take a course too, kind of like the Autobahn, but you don't have to take a course for the Autobahn. But my thing is, if you pay this extra fee, you're allowed to exceed 100 miles per hour. Okay, that's my compromise. Furthermore, we'd make it so, if you're paying for this license and you do get pulled over and you haven't hit anybody and there's been no car accidents, that the cops just basically let you go simply because your license has that red speeder stripe on it. But you're paying for that stripe. So if a regular license is whatever the cost of a regular license is, I'm going to charge you 50% more, allowing you to exceed the speed limit by 50 miles per hour. So that'll be the compromise. You're allowed to go up to, let's say, 110 miles per hour. I think that's fair. But only in the left lane. You have to stay in the leftmost lane. I think that's fair. I think most people would vote for that. I think most people would say, that's fair. Because the reality is, like, for instance, I just did a long road trip. I was on these highways for I'll tell you like this. I'll be perfectly honest. When I did this same road trip about 3 or 4 years ago, I was in my Jeep SRT and I was in the middle lane. There was like nobody out there. I was driving up to Rhode Island, right? It was like nobody out there. It was nice and early in the morning. And I was flying. I mean, when I was to say flying, the speeds that I reached in that Jeep SRT, if you had been in an airplane, it would have had to have taken off because it wouldn't have been able to stay on the ground. But I was flying. And even during COVID, there was like nobody on the road because everybody was at home scared, terrified, hugging their children, waiting for the end of the world. And I was out there having time of my life. I was flying. I was able to get from Long Island to Manhattan in like 30 minutes flat. That's ridiculous. Normally it takes like an hour. But I was doing it in half the time. And the cops weren't even out there because the cops had what they call blue flu. So the cops were staying home. They're like, I'm afraid to go out there because if I talk to somebody, I might get COVID. They were scared of that nonsense. I was not. I was out there chilling. I was having the time of my life. The only time I wore masks was when I had to wear masks. Other than that, I was out there having a ball. Anywhere you go, there was very few places to go, but it was easy to get a park because there was like nobody out there. And then on top of that, it was easy to drive back over the bridge, through the tunnels. It was easy because there was nobody on the road. It was beautiful. Then, after COVID ended, you have all these goddamn people back on the road. You got these new drivers, these people never driven before. They're trying to avoid the train, trying to avoid the buses because they're afraid of the COVID. And now you got these assholes causing accidents all over the place. Not only that, traffic was backed up like you wouldn't believe. So, needless to say, I was having way more fun during COVID. Now, I'm much more, how should I say, conservative about, as you can see, I bought an electric vehicle. I typically don't speed because when you have an electric vehicle or you have a hybrid or something, the whole point is saving energy. You're not trying to speed. You're not trying to waste energy, right? So typically, even on that road trip, I did my best to stay under 80 miles per hour. I don't remember what any of those speed limit signs said. I didn't really look. But the bottom line is I was doing my best to stay between 70 and 80 because you pay for every mile per hour over 75 with increased inefficiency. So I was doing my best to stay between 70 and 80. But now what they're saying is it's a crime. They're literally saying it's a crime to do 100 miles an hour. And on a lot of these highways, like for instance, I had to drive to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I was on the New Jersey Turnpike. I was flying, but there was nobody there. There was people on the road, but that left, the middle, even the right lane, because they have like 6 lanes across or something. And I was flying. And there was no cop pulling you over, and everything was good. There was nobody hitting each other because all you had to do was not tailgate. As long as you didn't tailgate and there's nobody in front of you, it was not a big deal. But the problem is that I was fortunate. I bought all my SRT products long before these stupid fuckboys and these carjackers came along. I had a Hellcat before it was cool. When I had mine, nobody else had it. When I had my Chrysler 300 SRT, nobody else had it. It was a few people may have bought it, but nobody really knew what it was. Nobody cared what it was. Everybody was focused on BMW and Mercedes. When Hellcats came out, now everybody shifted their focus to Hellcats, including these parasites who couldn't even possibly afford them. So then they go out there and start stealing them, carjacking, and now the crime goes up, carjacking goes up. See, if it was me in charge of the law, carjacking would be damn near the death penalty, especially if you killed somebody trying to steal their car. That'd be an instantaneous death penalty. I don't care what the law says because the law is a bunch of bullshit right now. But if I was in charge, believe you me, carjacking would carry the death penalty, armed carjacking specifically. At the very least, we would do Singapore, and we would beat you publicly. And it would be legal, a public beating, lashings, whatever. You remember what they did to Jesus on the cross? It would be something like that. Nah. This carjacking, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't tolerate it at all. I'd make you terrified to carjack. But, this law, they don't do that. But, bottom line is, it's a felony at this point. It's a felony. So they're making it a goddamn crime to drive 104. Now, I'm not going to, give too much away, but 104 for me that's what is it, rookie numbers. 104, that's it? That's rookie numbers. But they're so unfair with the way they've done these speed limits that really a lot of these highways, freeways, a lot of these parkways, they could afford to bump the shit up to 65 or 75, but they literally have state laws saying that the state speed limit is 55. That's not fair. That's really not fair. So I do feel for some of the people who, are being affected by these state laws, which really aren't fair. But the problem is, if you don't like it, you basically have to pack your shit and move to another state. in many cases, a lot of people have done that. Like, they moved to places like Texas where you can drive like 80, 85 or something, especially on these extremely long stretches of highway where there's, like, not much, there's no body. But part of the reason why they make the state laws so low for speed limits is because they're trying to focus on fuel efficiency. And if they keep you pegged at 55 or between 55 and 65, if they keep you below 80, it helps increase fuel efficiency. But most people, a lot of people buying cars, they don't care about fuel efficiency, especially a lot of these cars that sell right now with, that still manage to give you a V8 engine or whatever, So, I do kind of feel bad for some people in some places. But again, as for the carjackers, you'd be executed. Who else? Car theft, would be an executable offense. And, so that's basically that. So that's the super speeder law. So they catching people for being super speeders. That's what it is. That's just what it is. And it's only a matter of time before those laws come up here to the tri-state area. So the Sleep Act, however, I'm totally for it. If you modify one of these fucking piece of shit cars, resonator deletes, muffler, whatever it is, I want the feds to come down on you like, God comes down from the heavens. That's how I want it. Now, here in New York City, it says vehicle owners found to be in violation may be fined $220 on the first offense, but obviously it goes up from there. It says, as of April 1st, 2022, the maximum fines for installing illegally loud exhaust in New York was raised to $1,000, an $850 increase from before. So that we have the Sleep Act. And my thing is, you got these people who just go overboard. They got freaking machine gun exhausts and shit, you got to hear that garbage. It's just stupid. So the thing about it is, we've got automatic cameras that catch you. The cops can pull you over. Because here in New York, you're not allowed to have tinted windows of a certain tint color, And to me, at first you'd say, oh, that's unfair. But the reality is, part of that is for driver safety and part of that is also for police safety. If the police pull you over, they need to be able to see inside the car. If the driver can't easily be seen, then that means that there's always the possibility the police could open fire on your ass saying that they thought they saw something in the car when they really didn't see anything in the car. And, they'll blame the window tints, but you'll be dead. So my thing is, there's certain things I do agree with, but specifically the Sleep Act. I'm just saying it just like this, that's where I'll end. All of y'all who got them goddamn Hondas and them shitty BMWs, and you'll do it with them two-step garbage exhausts. I hope you didn't spend too much money installing it, because if you get caught with it, we got a $1,000 fine waiting for you. It's just that simple. And if you don't like it, you're free to move to one of them states that doesn't have the Sleep Act, maybe like Alaska or some shit, I don't know, or like South Dakota. But if you get caught, you're done. And by the way, to compound your problems, if you get caught and you happen to be illegal or illegally here, you're going home permanently. So just want to warn you, just warning you. So put that in your pipe and smoke. So here I am. What is this place called? Americana Manhasset. Planned on doing minimal, a little bit of shopping. Actually, I really like just coming over here just to, see what's new. Because they always have fun things. They always have, new stuff and everything going on. So, I like coming over here, checking it out, see what the store's got. See if they have anything exciting. I have an Apple store right over here, and that'll probably be where I go to get my new iPhone when it finally comes out. I've been waiting all this time for iPhone 17. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it a storage bump. I'm hoping they give it a storage bump. So you got let's okay. So here we go. These are rich people parking car. Oh shit! What is that orange thing? That must be a Revuelto. Wait, okay, we go. Oh, wait. Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's a Huracan. That's a oh shit. Yo, the cops are doing checks. The cops are checking people. They're checking poor people. They're checking poor people in Toyota Avalons and making sure that they're not causing any problems. Get them, officer. Get them. Got to keep these poor people out of here. And make it, a nice and spacious place for wealthy, hardworking Americans. Keep these poor people with these goddamn Toyotas out of here. All right, let's see these cool cars. Let's see what we got. Got the Tesla dealership right here. I always like coming by there, see if they have anything cool. Got this chick right here, and she has the wide body kit, as you can see. Oh, okay, so this is just a Huracan. It's nice. It's a STO. It's nice. It's brightly colored. It's pretty. This is Cipollini. I guess these people are here trying to get that overpriced food and shit. Let's see what Tesla's got. I really wanted to go by Lucid, see what Lucid had. Look at it. They're trying to sell these Model Ys. Tesla just started a new lease program, to help push Model Y sales. And I'm seeing a lot of them. Because the problem is, if you were a former Model Y owner, it's kind of hard to go from a Tesla to something else. And the reason why is because that network, the charging network, is so good. Like when I was on my trip up to Rhode Island, it was like I passed by a number of rest stops. All of them had Tesla chargers. And for the most part, you could just pull right in and charge, and there was no wait. But I would imagine that most of these Tesla owners charge at home. But I just like knowing that if I want to drive from one side of the country to another, that I can just use the Tesla network. I have the adapter and everything, and I'll be damned if I'm going to use it. Look at this guy. How do you have your pants that high, and you got your ankles showing and shit? You might as well have an ankle bracelet, bro. Damn. That's not fashion. And I'm pretty sure Ferragamo or somebody would probably push that off of me as fashion. It's like, I don't need to see your ankles, buddy. I don't need to see your ankles. That guy, no. And I know exactly how he talks. He probably talks like he was down at the yacht club. Yeah, he was at the yacht club. Yes, I was spending lots of daddy's money. I was at the yacht club. I was at the yacht club earlier. Yeah, my dad owns a dealership. Yeah, we don't just sell cars. We also sell yachts. Hey, take a look at my ankles. I am so sexy. I'm too sexy for this song. Ugh. God, he might as well have ankle bracelets on. They're not supposed to see that shit. Look at this. It's a Ferrari. I think this is a California. I saw a black one of those a minute ago. I guess Ferrari must be selling those very well. Let's go on down to the yacht club. Got the G-Wagons, of course. There's always G-Wagons here. Constant G-Wagons. I wonder if Lucid has the gravity. Oh, shit. I'm not supposed to be here. Oh, I can get back in there. Yeah, I wasn't supposed. Yeah, because it's weird. They have like, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I'll let you go. Let's go on to the yacht club. Somebody put a scat pack here. They parked it all the way at the end because it's old. Gotta have new cars over here. This guy. Let's go on down to the yacht club. Lucid, I think, is right over here. And this is like they have like a sushi restaurant. Segment. I don't know what the hell that is. So, just Just want to see what's going on, man. All right, in fact, I can turn this way. See if Lucid has the gravity. Woo. If Lucid has the gravity, I want to go in there and check it out. I'll check it out in a minute. They should have it after all this freaking time. Well, they have the picture of it. There's nothing on the sales floor, and there's not. It looks like there's nothing on the other side either. So I don't know what these guys are doing, but y'all need to work harder to make my stock worth more money. I bought Lucid. Wouldn't mind shorting it, honestly. It's going down to the yacht club. Alright, I'm gonna turn around right here. That's the Apple store right there, but I'm gonna turn around. I wanna see what's going on at the what is it called? The restaurant. What are they doing? Alright. Every now and then they have some interesting stuff, but right now I'm just not seeing anything. Oh, in fact, I could ask them. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Did you get the gravity in yet? October?
No, this month.
This month. All right. He said later this month. Oh, that sounds fun. Christmas kicker. No, I want the Christmas kicker. Man, that guy needs to clean those wheels. You can't drive that car around looking like that. That looks terrible. Clean those damn wheels. You got rust all over your rims. Jesus. I hand wash my car. It's probably some old person. He can't even bend over. Their spine is probably fucked up. Yeah. That's just disrespectful to the car. Whoa, look at this Escalade. Jesus Christ. It's a woman driving it. I gotta get out of here. They don't believe in accountability and they will hit you. Yeah, that's the sushi restaurant. It's called Toku. G-Wagon, Navigator, BMW. Oh, the Urus. This guy's got the Urus. It's going down to the yacht. Oh, shit, Ferrari. I missed that. Nearly missed that. Yeah, you come around back, and every time you come around back, there's always cool cars back here. Poor Dodge. They think that all they got to do is bring back the Viper, and that's going to save them. Carlos Tavares put these people in such a deep hole. Damn, that's a big car. That's what I want. I think I want to get that in silver. I want to get the S500. Love that thing. Yeah, go ahead. Go right around me. So anyway, oh, Escalade V. Yeah, that's nice. So, Carlos Tavares put these people in such a deep hole that I don't think they're ever getting out of it, ever. And it's sad because it's like, oh yeah, I have an idea, let's bring back the Viper. Well, here's the problem though. The Viper is absolutely not what your market really wants. The Viper only appeals to people who normally would buy a Viper. But the problem is the majority of your market wanted Hellcat replacements or Demon replacements. They don't want the Viper. It's like they're talking about, oh yeah, well, we're going to make a super fast track car. It's like, guys, we don't drive around tracks. We don't care about a track. And most of us have never even seen a track in real life. Look at this guy. It's like, bring back, like, big, fast cars. It's like, I don't know why it's so complicated. I said it a long time ago. The cars have to be big, huge, and fucking fast. If you meet those three criteria, big, huge, and fucking fast, then you don't have a problem selling. It's not that hard. But, you know, Stellantis with their bullshit, I kind of have to add one more. I have to add, it also has to be inexpensive. Because the problem is, they've been selling this shit and ripping people off. And they've been ripping, oh, here we go. Oh, let's go down to the yacht club, booby. All right, yeah. So they've been ripping people off for so long that the issue now is that their prices have gone ballistic. They're still selling 2023 Jeep 392 Wranglers for over $100,000. Like, that's just silly. It's like, y'all have to go bankrupt to understand what you're not supposed to do to your customers. That final call bullshit was a stupid move, but that's part of Carlos Tavares, so, you know, he was full of stupid moves. You know, that X2 is cool. I have, like, a sibling who was thinking about getting a car, and I wanted to show her the X2. I don't know what it does for reliability and everything, but I think she'd probably end up getting something else. Because the X2 and the X1, you know, they're relatively affordable. And she doesn't need a car as large as what is that thing, the X3. But we'll see. I gotta take her car shopping. Oh, it's a white S-Class there. That's nice. All right, I had enough. I'm done. I'm ready to get out of here. I have 150 miles of range right now, so I'll probably hit the charger later. I could wait till tomorrow, but if there's nobody there, I'll hit it today. Take care of this today. I think it's actually ironic. I had an easier time charging this car on a road trip than I did charging it, like, right here. And it was a little bit easier because it was 4 stalls and there was nobody there. So I appreciated that. All right, let's get out of here. Zegna. I don't know who they are or what they sell. Zegna. Yeah, it's a nice day. It's hot as hell outside. That's why my AC is at 100% basically. It's very hot. Yeah, I'm gonna just drive straight on down. You'll get a nice scenic view of this beautiful area. So you got Long Island Motor Cars right here. That's where a lot of these people buy McLarens, Jaguars, or Aston Martins, if you can, you know, get in there. Yeah, it's all McLarens, basically. British stuff. So now they got a new law in Florida called the super speeder law. So they just basically have the ability now to catch you on camera speeding, and then they come knock on your door and they literally arrest you for going like 50 miles above the speed limit. So basically you're talking about people doing 100 miles an hour or more, because obviously it's Florida, so a lot of people have sports cars, race cars. So basically they're making it so that, you know, even if they don't catch you on the street, they can just come to your house and get you. And that's they call it the super speeder law. That's a damn shame. So they're basically, you know, and I'm not surprised that that's happened, and I'm also not going to be surprised when more states adopt super speeder laws. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, I won't be surprised when, because basically anything New York does, the other 2 states do anyway. You know, but I won't be surprised. So there, all this, you know, it's crazy because like Dodge here, they want to bring back these V8 muscle cars, and right now, whether you like hybridization or electrification, it doesn't really matter. These cars are going to be gimped. They're going to turn them all into hybrids. They're all going to be computer-dominated computers on wheels. And they're going to basically make it so that, you can't speed. What the fuck? Look at these bikers. Get in the bike lane. Get in that behind the line, stupid. There's cars here trying to drive. What's wrong with you people? Yeah, it's a nice, beautiful view. They got some nice hidden restaurants. Ocean is one of them. Very nice restaurant. Food's a little overpriced, but it's just nice to have the view. It's nice to get the nice view. Yeah, the last time one time I came over that bridge, there was a dude next to me. He was racing me. I was using the Jeep. Man, we were driving over that bridge so fast, man. It was incredible. So coming up on a Jeep Dodge dealership right now. It's the one from before that I told you about. These bastards tried to charge me like $30,000 over sticker on a Trackhawk, and I laughed at their freaking face. I said, no way in hell. I was like, nope. And sure enough, those cars sat right on the lot for a whole year, right up until COVID happened, and then they had to sell them at huge losses, like $10,000, $15,000. Yeah, there they are right there, East Hills. But they're still doing it. It's like, oh, they got the Wagoneer S. Yeah, but they're still up to their old tricks. They didn't learn shit. They're still doing the same damn thing. They're still trying to rip people the fuck off with that final call bullshit and those stickers for 2020. These cars are 2 years old, 2023 cars, and they still trying to charge you top dollar. Absolutely amazing. I think they need to go bankrupt in order to understand what they're not supposed to do to customers. And me personally, at this point, I could care less. I've moved on. I have totally moved on. It's like before you'd see me put that kind of money in one of those cars again, I'd buy something from Mercedes or possibly something from somewhere else, but there's no way in hell I'd buy that shit from them. I'm going to pay you $80,000 for shit service. That's just dumb. I'd buy an Escalade before I'd pay them $100,000 for one of them stupid ass played out Demons or played out Hellcat. It's like, there's no way in hell. No way in hell. Yeah, it's like maturing is knowing where to spend your money. Great day. That's his license plate. Great day. I like that. Yeah, well, Trump took away the $7,500 tax credit, so that's not going to stop these people. And it's probably not going to stop the companies either, because the corporations behind these cars, all they're going to do is they'll swallow the losses for a little while. They'll offer cash back bonuses and shit. But, you know, it's amazing how much of a dent Trump put in the EV industry and the green factories, because a lot of these factories that they're building, they want to try to make green factories where you get the majority of the power from solar, just like Apple did with that Apple spaceship thing that they have, the headquarters. But you know, it's going to cost them a lot more now because of the big beautiful bill repealing a lot of the mandates on being green and stuff. So, you know, it's okay, because this country will continue to watch as China continues to move further and further ahead. And ultimately, you know, maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe that's called manifest destiny. Maybe China just needs to take over, because ultimately we're not doing anything to even compete anymore. We're not competing. We're absolutely not competing. We can't compete with our workers. We can't compete with our wages. We can't compete with our technology. It's like they're so far ahead of us, it's not even funny. And now you get a bill that takes away money from the innovation that you normally would have had. So it's just amazing how short-sighted these people are. But what's sad is it's hard for me to criticize because I own oil stock. And by owning oil stock in these companies, what Trump is doing directly benefits me. And it's really sad because even I understand that, yeah, you make a little bit of money here and there on the oil stocks and the dividends, but ultimately at what cost, you know? But these people have no morals. These people have no consciences. These people are scumbag businessmen, scam artists, scumbags. And this is just what they do, you know? This scum, the worst type of scum. This is the Home Depot nursery. And I'm here because I gotta get some planters. I want to start mulching and get some mulch on. I gotta get those long planters though. Yeah. Some nice long planters. Where do I keep the planters? Maybe they're in this direction. I don't know. Or maybe not. The way I see it, it's like the prices on these flowers are way too high. Honestly, like that's just, it's like how much should flowers be? I mean, they grow these things, for God's sakes. Okay, I see planters. I see planters. All right, where are they? Let's see. I guess I can walk back here. Those are nice. Those window box ones. That's not exact. I wanted the cheaper version of this, but these are nice. These are like wood. $39, $40 each. And then they got those $30. These are nice. I like that though. They only have like a couple of them. Maybe. Oh, that's what I was looking for. These are the type I was looking for. I wonder if these made of like ceramic or something. Oh, and they even have ventilation. I gotta check the price on it. Yeah, I just wanted like 2 of those. I like those wood ones though. Those are nice. I gotta check the price on those. If they have 2 of those, shit, I might have to go with those. Those are pretty. $36 inch. And these are 28 inch. These are 36 inches. $60 for 2. These are nice. 28 inch. I like these though. These are nice. Check the price on those. I will get 2 of these. I think I might have to get soil later on, but for right now I get 2 of these. Call it a day. If I need more of them, get more of them later. I have like a tomato plant growing. I'd like to try to grow some fruits. Oh. You got Duke Nukem. He's retired. Mercedes, and they got like a Raptor truck here. I guess somebody must have traded their truck in because they got tired of watching themselves get depreciation. And oh, they got the China Blue. Oh, okay, we gotta look at that. So basically I came here because I just wanted to take a look and see what the pricing on this stuff was. I was actually looking at the 500 S-Class, but wanted to see what else they had. $139,000 for the S580. So these things are still $139,000, but I don't think this has TVs in it. No, it does not. There's no TVs. When are these people gonna learn? Put televisions in these goddamn things. If you're gonna sell a fucking car for, there you go. That one's got it. But this is one of those performance models. This is that the one that they've been talking about with the AMG model. That's e-performance. See, that they made these things hybrids, and ultimately that was probably a good idea. Because see, the problem ultimately is, what the fuck? The thing's making all types of noise and shit. See, the thing about it is, when you make it a hybrid, you automatically, when it's a hybrid, you don't have the problem with people who are like old people who don't want to have to deal with the whole charging and all that. They don't want to deal with that shit. This is nice. It's white with the orange interior. It's kind of like sepia with the Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram was selling. So when you make it like this, you're basically making it so that people don't have to deal with the charging situation. My problem is these cars are such horrible gas guzzlers that it would be better if they made this full-size car fully electric, because with a car this big, you'd be able to put enough of a battery under there where you could get like 400 miles of range, just like the Lucid Air, Because I like these cars. I just don't want another one of these damn things. These things are horrible gas guzzlers, man. These things suck the gut. Like, it used to be, I couldn't keep cash in my pocket because I always had to buy gas. With that Hellcat, with that Jeep SRT, even with those old S-Classes, man, you couldn't keep cash because every single time you turn around, you got to go to the gas station. And that was not even driving crazy. That was driving normally. But that's why I like electric so much. But they refuse. This is nice. I like this color. What color is this? This is like purple or something. This is nice. That's really nice. I like that color. I like that China blue. But this is nice. See, that gray, my aunt has she has an EQS 580 in that gray right there. I don't like that gray. I like that silver. That's like Cirrus silver, or they call it. I like that more. This is a nice color, though. What's this called? This is called, what is this? What's this called? Mystic Blue Metallic Signature. This is one of those cars with the $6,500 paint job. That paint job itself is that makes these things really, really exclusive, because number one, not only does it raise the price, but it also ensures that if you get into a car accident at all, or if anything chips your paint, or if anything hurts your car, now you got to pay top dollar to get to get the car repainted. That's part of the reason why the insurance is so high. And I'm not into high insurance. So this right here, this is a regular 580. I think this is like a regular black. This is not one of those manufacturer colors. This is 135, but this is black. Not a fan of black. Yeah. It's nice though. But and what's so crazy is these cars, like the new E-Class, the new S-Class, these cars are absolutely amazing. But when they depreciate, they're going to be putting all these things on the used car market. And anybody who buys one of these things, man, these things, they're going to, I know these things are really expensive to fix. What kind of color is this? This color's ugly. I don't know what it is. This isn't the same as that other one. What color is this? It's a little weird. What is this? This is a manufacturer signature silicon gray, $6,500. I don't like it. And this is what, $149,000. See, when you're adding a $7,000 paint job to these cars, you're pushing those prices way up. So they're about to redesign all of these cars. The CLA that they unveiled That's going to be like the first one that they put out. So they got the CLA coming. It's got the whole new interior where basically the whole thing's a touchscreen. And then they got the new front end. Okay. And then after the CLA, chances, I don't know if they're going to keep the A-Class around, because the A-Class to me doesn't make sense. The C-Class makes sense. You know, the C-Class is really, you know, the entry luxury sedan model. But the CLA, that's supposed to be the budget model, you know. So as you saw from my videos, we just returned a Mercedes, what was that thing? A GLE 350. And yeah, so basically I was just looking at, see what they had. Yeah, see, these are those performance models. That's that performance. Who's making a fucking Hellcat's making a fucking noise? Ruined my video. So anyway, we're here shouting at cars. But anyway, yes, this is the V8 twin turbo. That's the one that everybody was talking about how fast this thing is. And you can see those gigantic AMG calipers, man. Yeah, no. That's these things are like $200,000. I think it's like $220 or something. Every single one. They have one on the floor that has like a matte paint. Okay, yeah, this is $198, so that's not too bad. And this one actually has the televisions, which is amazing because despite the fact that this one has the televisions, this one's cheaper than most of the other ones I've seen that don't have the televisions. But what they do have is they have that signature paint, and you're adding like $7,500 to the car, you know? And then right over here, I see another one of these Mystic Blues, but then they have, I like that other blue right there. They got China Blue. I like that. I think these cars over here, I don't know if these are the new ones. They might be new, they might be used, I'm not sure. I'm gonna find out in a second. A bunch of G-Wagons sitting around. Yeah, I think my aunt has an EQS in this color right here. Yeah, man, it's amazing how these things are just sitting here roasting. It's hot as hell out here. Yeah, the EQ, oh, that's an EQE, that's not an EQS, my fault. So they have the Mystic Blue. I'm pretty sure, I don't think that one has TVs in it. Gotta have TVs. What's wrong with them? Just put TVs in everything. Yeah, it doesn't have the TVs. They got this China Blue, and that one is pretty. I like that. That is pretty. That is a pretty color. I don't think I'd buy that color, but that is a nice color. And naturally, it does not have the TVs in it. Oh, shit. And the windshield is fucked up. Somebody cracked this goddamn windshield. The windshield's cracked as fuck. And this is new? Yeah, well, they're gonna have to take some money out because they gotta replace that windshield. $130,000. So it's China Blue. And it looks like it has the macchiato interior. The pillows and everything. Yeah. Cracked up windshield. Damn. That's terrible. $130,000. Signature China Blue, $6,500. It's a hell of a lot for a paint job. This one is nice. I like that interior. It's like, I don't know what they call this interior. I could look at the paint code. But yeah, I'm making a decision of what I want to get as the next car. And I can promise you it won't be a no SRT product. I can promise you that. So it's Signature Mystic Blue Metallic with Sienna Brown Black Exclusive Napa Leather. Sienna Brown, that's what they call this. That's pretty. Now I'm hoping that when they redesign it, that they're going to give it the hyperscreen for one, and that they're going to give it electrification. You know, if they do make it a hybrid, I'd be happy if it had maybe 100 miles worth of battery range, because right now the hybrids only get like less than 50 miles of battery range. That's not a lot. If you're driving in the city, you should be able to drive these cars without ever using a drop of gas if you have the ability to charge it. But as it stands, that's not an option. Yeah. Told them about that chipped windshield. And look at this. This is a lifted G63 AMG. Look at the wheels on this freaking thing. These wheels are... the hell? Can't even see it. I can't see. These wheels are like... it's like these are 30s or something. Wait, no. These are R22. These are 22s. Jesus Christ. And it's truck tires with 22s. So that's a lifted G-Wagon. So that, and this is, they want $371,000 for this. And unlike the Cybertruck, it actually comes with the light bar at the top. This shit looks like a freaking stormtrooper. Yeah, this is like when you have way more money than you have common sense. Big money bowling. But that's something else right there. I don't like G-Wagons, but that's pretty cool. And then this is the regular one. And this is like 190, I think. 191. I'm not into G-Wagons. Oh, this is 180, 155. I'm not into G-Wagons. Don't really like those. It's like, to me, it's like a very expensive Jeep Wrangler. No. I would rather, for that kind of money, shit, I'd have the Escalade instead. I'd have the Escalade IQ for that kind of money. No, thank you. Maybach GLF. Now, I don't know about the interior on the Maybach GLS, but what I can say is that they haven't updated the interior to be like the new W222. But what they did do is they do put the monitors in, and they do put the rear seats in, and the rear seat recliners and everything, the rear seat entertainment package. He told me that's like $5,000 as an add-on. So that's pretty nice. So this couple right here looks like they're buying a GLC. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, interesting inventory, but their inventory has to change because these cars, especially with these interiors, these cars are starting to get old now. You know, so this is the same Mercedes that we come to for those car shows. Oh, and then they have some of the used ones out here. They got a used 22. See, if it was me, what I would do for those 580s, I would make the monitors and the rear seat package, I would make all of that shit standard. And if you don't want the monitors, we take the monitors out. And then we just drop some money off of it. But I can't see buying one of those things not fully loaded. I just couldn't. And this one's got a horrible red and white pinstripe. Pinstripes suck. The worst thing, I had a car with pinstripes before. The worst thing about pinstripes is if you get into an accident and they have to repaint any of your fenders or your doors or anything, now you got to wait for the guy who comes and custom does the pinstripes. And I don't like pinstripes. I just like regular factory paint. All right. I've seen what they had. It doesn't change that much. But yeah, a couple of nice things. Yeah, I think I'll go to like Home Depot. Just ordered one of these strawberry refreshers that they have. Like, that's like the new thing that they got this month or week or whatever. It's right there on the picture. I just felt like getting something to drink. I gotta turn this off for the copyright infringement me.
Touch anything? Are we good? All right, stop. Slow down. Just stop. Whoa. That was it. You didn't touch anything. We're done. Now we're actually done. We're done. That was it.
I was going to end the video, but I did kind of want to talk about the stock market because due to Trump's tariff nonsense, the stock market dropped back a little bit. I'll get to a little bit of that later. But speaking on the theme that I started with about these goddamn BMW, these fucking Audi, these Infiniti assholes on the road acting stupid all the time. Well, here you go. You got this story that just popped Monday, July 7th at 3:23 p.m. Young BMW driver and passenger, by the way, die after fiery Queens Belt Parkway wreck. This is just a story that I wanted to share with all you BMW and Infiniti owners who keep cutting up in traffic and doing stupid shit and then causing car accidents and causing like backups that cause me to have more traffic when I'm going somewhere. I just wanted to share this story with you. The young driver and one of the passengers of an out-of-control BMW. Well, no, I wouldn't say that it was out of control. It was perfectly under control. BMW claims that they're the greatest driving machine ever. What did they say? What's their logo? The best driving machine or something like that? So anyway, after a fiery weekend wreck on the Belt Parkway, and the brother of the young mom killed in the wreck says he has questions about what led to his sister's fate. Listen, let me help you out, buddy. What led to your sister's fate was called, like, bad driving and reckless driving. Yeah, those are the terms. No one in the doomed BMW was wearing a seatbelt. Oh, really? It's New York state law to have a seatbelt on. So why didn't you? Okay, so wait, you know what? Let's skip that for now. Noah Thompson, 24, and one of his 4 passengers, 22-year-old Jewel Perez, were initially listed in critical condition after Thompson slammed into a concrete divider while going east on the Parkway towards the Cross Bay Boulevard exit in Howard Beach about 6 a.m. Let me just think about where that is. Okay, so the Belt Parkway, and then they say the Cross Bay Divider. I think I know where they're talking about. They're probably talking about one exit up from where Resorts World's exit is. Okay. Jewel was a loving energy. No, I'm skipping that part. After slamming into the divider, the BMW rocketed into the air like Elon Musk's SpaceX and landed on the other side of the highway where it struck 2 more vehicles, a Honda CR-V and a red Hyundai. I wish you had told us the model of the Hyundai, because it could have been a Sonata or something. But anyway, going the opposite direction, cops said. The BMW burst into flames like fireballs in the sky. Thompson and Perez both ended up dying. No, Thompson and Perez were roasted to death after being rushed to Brookdale University Hospital. Okay, so they were roasted in the car, and then they were taken to the hospital where I guess, they simmered. Friends and relatives said. Before he died, police were looking to get a warrant to test Thompson's blood for alcohol. Well, it's kind of hard to test for alcohol after somebody's roasted to death, because one thing you learn when you learn about baking is that if you put alcohol in what you're cooking, like if you use rum or if you use basically rum usually, what happens is the heat caused the alcohol to evaporate. So, yeah. Thompson's 3 other passengers, a 21-year-old woman and 2 men. So he had 3 people in this car. Both 25 somehow suffered only minor injuries. So what have we learned? The safest place to be in a BMW is like not in the driver's seat and not in the passenger seat. If you're in the back seat, maybe you'll be okay. While the CR-V and Hyundai drivers were hospitalized in stable condition. I have questions. Just from the wreck, it looks like maybe alcohol or speeding was related. Well, no seat belts, coupled with speeding, coupled with... I can't prove there was alcohol involved, but I'm pretty sure there was speeding involved, because this was a BMW and they didn't have seat belts on. In an appeal on GoFundMe, they have a GoFundMe, Perez's brother described the Upper East Side resident as the... I'm skipping that part. I spoke to her... I'm skipping that part. No, she was very... I'm skipping all that. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. We know, we get the picture. Mother and daughter last spoke at night before the crash. Perez had been guilty with her children and was looking forward to a rare night out. Oh, this was a night you'll never forget. In Thompson's most recent Instagram post, he proudly posed with the shiny white BMW he later crashed. Ugh. In another post, he described himself as the type to always beat the odds. Not today. Okay, he was the best guy around, pure soul, always would congratulate me and show me. All right, so let's see. It's been a while since we last had a conversation, but you literally just tried. All right, so yeah, that's the story right there. So basically, let's see what happened. I've had to deal with these people for so long. It's bad enough that when you're driving, you've got to deal with these assholes recklessly driving. It's bad enough that you have to deal with them getting into accidents and then causing miles of traffic. For me, that's bad enough. But he always beat the odds right up until he didn't. So the bottom line is, these speeder laws, they're to protect the public and to ensure public safety. You've got some people out there who think that they're just going to beat the odds. You think there are people who run from traffic stops. There are people who cut up in traffic. They think it's cute. They think it's funny. And a lot of other people end up getting injured and killed and get hurt because of their stupidity. But every now and then, they make a huge mistake and it only costs them. And that's just what it is. Now, you could say, oh, yeah, well, you should be more. If somebody tried to, like, I was getting on one of these stories about these assholes train surfing. They're getting on the trains and surfing on the top of the trains. You knew the risks, 14, 15, 16-year-old. You know the risks, but you're doing it anyway. And I'm sorry, I just don't have empathy for that. I don't. I have no sympathy. I have no empathy for that. You gambled, and that's one thing I hate. I hate gambling. I don't even consider it a stock market and dividend paying stocks. I don't consider that gambling. You gambled with not only your life, but other people's. That's where I draw the line. If you want to gamble with your life, you do that on your own. But if you're doing it with other people, no, I have a problem with that. I have no sympathy. I have no empathy. I'm sorry. Somebody said, you know what? You might have ASPD. And I said, you know what? You might be right. And then I had to go look up ASPD and find out what it was. And then I said, you know what? You might be right. Again. But the bottom line is, they're putting... I am very thankful that I got my cars, my fast cars, and I drove them before the fuckboys were able to get theirs. Some of them got them legitimately. Some of them carjacked people and stole them. Some of them steal parts, engines, and put it in there. Like, they take a shitty V6 Chrysler 300 and they put a Hellcat engine in it that's stolen. And then, and you probably remember the story, and then they're racing the shit and then they crash into the side of a truck. I've had enough. And apparently the law is ahead of me, finally, and they've had enough too. It's not funny. It's not cute. You can seriously injure hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying Americans, and I won't have it, and neither will the law. So the law has basically said, okay, we got these super speeder laws. You're done. I know there's like a lot of YouTube channels, and they trying to make content. This is not the way to do it. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels, and they think this shit is funny and cute and everything, and they like to make content out of this stuff. No, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So super speeder laws, boom, that's what you got. Super speeder laws. And you got the super speeder laws, and then you have the laws of physics. And the laws of physics, there is no bail. There is no parole. The laws of physics, force equals mass times acceleration. Just that one. There ain't no bail. There ain't no parole. There is no retrial. There's no jury. There's no judge. It's just a law. And if you try to break it, it's your ass. Okay, so I was initially going to talk about the market. Normally, I wouldn't have said anything, but I woke up this morning to see that the Dow had dropped. Not only did it drop today, now today is July 8th, that's Tuesday, but the Dow had also dropped yesterday, but it only dropped a small amount yesterday, and then it dropped even more today. So they claim that the reason why the Dow is down is because of Trump's tariff developments, right? I've always insisted that this tariff war was never going to work. Whether it's a good idea or not, just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it's going to work. America has a serious problem. America has a number of serious problems. But first of all, we're crossing we're already $37 trillion in debt. Very soon, we're going to be $40 trillion in debt. The debt is so high at this point that the Federal Reserve cannot lower interest rates because inflation will creep back up. And it can't raise interest rates because the debt is so high that this national debt would be unserviceable if they raise the interest rates. So we've put ourselves basically in a corner. So Trump can keep on getting on television. Jerome Powell's an idiot. This guy's dumb. He's stupid. I don't know why he won't. America should have lower interest rates. Our rates are too high. Yeah, but guess what, Trump? The other countries in the world that you want to compare us to, they don't have as much debt as we have. And that's the big problem. The debt is what is keeping them from raising interest rates, and it's also keeping them from lowering interest rates. If they lower interest rates, not only will inflation go back up, but we'll also have what's called a reverse mortgage crash. And you don't have to take my word for it. I give a shit what you think. You can ask economists, because I know there's always somebody who's ready to argue with me. But believe me, I've been studying this for a while, and I've looked at just about everything that major economists have said. And for the most part, they're in agreement about that. They were also in agreement that these tariffs weren't going to work. Now, I've lived in China, unlike many of you who would try to dare challenge me. But one thing you'll understand is the Chinese have a workforce that is much larger than America's population. We only have like 340 to 350 million people here. They've got more than 350 million people just working. They have more teenagers than we have. Like people between the age of 15 and like 27 or something. They have more people than we have. It's just that simple. 1.4 billion. India's got the same exact thing. What Trump was doing, just like what he basically did to Apple, Trump was trying to force these companies to bring their factories back to America. It's not going to happen. They don't want to pay Americans, federal minimum wage? They don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. They would rather go to these third world countries, work those people over there, and those people do have some expertise, but they'd rather work those people over there and then suck up the profit. The problem is we're not taxing these corporations enough because these corporations are doing everything they can to hide the tax money and to hide their money offshores, and they're benefiting all over the world and they're pocketing all the profit. Even during COVID, we put trillions of dollars into their pockets just by sitting home and buying their tech products like Apple iPads, tablets, computers, laptops, etc., etc. So the reality is Trump's dream of bringing all these factories back to America, I think by now you have to realize that that's not going to happen. Then what's really sad is when you actually look at the quality of the American product. Think about Tesla, for example. Build quality is shit. Right now, just about every state is up in arms with Tesla about full self-driving. They don't want it. Elon Musk is trying to make a case that full self-driving is the future, and it very well might be. It's just that your states don't want it because they're afraid of the possibility of that shit running over and killing some grandma, or they're afraid of somebody being in the car and the thing driving itself off a bridge or in front of a train. So the build quality sucks. When you look inside a Tesla and then you compare it to a Chinese-made car that's about the exact same price, it's easy to see that the Chinese-made car has way more thought put into it and way more fit and finish put into it and better build quality. And then you think about these other American cars like Ford, GM, Chrysler, and you can see that by the recalls alone, we're just having so much trouble actually building good products. You know, a lot of the best products that are made are not made here. I think the best things America builds are guns and weapon systems, like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. I think that's like the best stuff that we build is like weapons, for the most part. And then we have to try to convince these other countries to buy these weapons. Like right now, the big seller, or that we're trying to sell, is the F-35, and nobody wants it. And they're about to get rid of that, and they're about to say, "Oh yeah, well guess what we got? We got the F-47." And they haven't even built the shit yet or showed you what it looks like, but they're trying to sell it. So weapons and guns and bullets, I think that's probably the thing that we excel at. What we don't excel at is making, affordable healthcare, high-speed rail from New York to like California, or California to Florida, or California to Washington, or Washington to New York. Those are things that are just beyond us. It's like you go to any other country, they got high-speed rail, or they have a competent rail service. You go to China, they're building maglev trains left and right. They like everything's magnetic. Like they drive in electric vehicle trains. It's like everything's maglev. Like that train from Shanghai, Pudong to the airport. Yeah, that thing is magnificent. If you could ever go to China, if you ever have a chance to ride on it, it's magnificent how fast. Like the thing goes like 250 miles an hour. Now imagine if we had that. If it was me and I was in charge, and I was a dictator, I would make us put a train. We'd have a train that goes from Maine to Florida, stops in New York, stops in all the major states, obviously. It would go from Maine to Florida. There'd be one that goes from Maine to Washington, and then there'd be one that goes from like Washington to California, and there'd be one that goes from like California to Florida. But that's beyond us for some reason. You know why? Because we're spending all our money on Israel, and we're spending all our money in Ukraine. But you know what? That's just a talking point. I'm pretty sure people beyond that. So the bottom line is this tariff shit was never going to work, and now it's all falling apart. It says the S&P 500 inch down 0.06. Okay, well, those are the numbers. It says traders were on guard during Tuesday's regular session as Trump rolled out new updates to his tariff policy. On Tuesday, Trump said in a Truth Social post that there would be no change or extensions on the raft of duties he announced on those nations, including Japan and South Korea. The new tariff rates range from 25% to 40% and are set to begin on August 1st. Today is July 8th. What is this? Prime Day. Amazon, I've been getting bombarded with emails. Amazon, eBay, all of them are doing their best to sell us as much shit as they possibly can before August 1st. They're doing their best. I got people coming to my house, people knocking on my door, people coming to my yard, asking me about, oh, you're interested in a camera system? It's like, yo, listen, I already have a very good security system for my house. It's called Desert Eagle, if you know what I'm talking about. But long story short, it's not going to work. In the long run, it's not going to work. And what's crazy about it is this stuff is going to get repealed when the next president gets into office. Trump is not on the ballot. He's term limited. All of this stuff is going to get repealed. Nobody wants this. The businesses, the corporations, they don't want this. They can't do business reliably if they don't know what the market's going to look like at least a day or two from now. That's the level of chaos that Trump has infused in this market. Most of this stuff is going to get turned around. You can guarantee it. The next president's going to turn this shit around. There's a lot of people arguing with me. Oh, yeah, well, the next president is not... I'm telling you, the next president's going to be a Democrat. Depending upon what happens with these midterm elections, I am not at all going to be surprised when the next president pulls in there and be a Democrat. Oh, yeah, you crazy. You think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez going to win? You crazy. Okay. People were telling me the same shit when I said Trump was going to win the first time. And then they were saying it again when I said he was going to win the second time. No, this is bigger. There's a bigger picture here, and I think a lot of people are missing it. So long story short, the Dow is down. What else? Gold is still around $3,300. Microsoft had a very small pullback of only like maybe $2. Apple is still like $3 under. Nvidia's at $160. It closed at $160. So that's nice. That's the 52-week high is 160.98. So it closed right under the 52-week high. Google $175, Amazon $219, Meta is $720, Tesla $297. So Tesla has fallen back because Elon Musk, once again, I said Elon might have been the first trillionaire, but he did not keep his mouth shut. And now, when he's threatening Trump with his third party, now he's just doing his best to alienate everybody. It's just amazing. I mean, people ask me if I got ASPD. I think this motherfucker got ASPD. I'm pretty sure he does. Intel is starting to slowly move up. Glad to see that. AMD is it's kind of moving on in the right direction. But again, it's very difficult to even talk about this market because you've got this madman in office throwing all this shit. Like, it's like a monkey throwing shit at a wall to see what sticks. And he's just throwing everything out. You got your answer today. No Epstein files for you. Now, we got the Epstein files on my desk. We're getting close to releasing them. It'll probably be released sometime next week. Yeah, no Epstein files for you. Now, Elon Musk said, well, you were named in the Epstein files right before the door hit him in the ass and kicked him out of the White House. Oh, yeah, well, you were named in the files. And now you're hearing Pam Bondi, no, those Epstein files are never going to see the light of day. We can't put that stuff out there. No, that'll never happen. There was no client list. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, well, there was a 1-minute gap in the tape, and that 1-minute gap in the tape exists in all the tapes. And now you're in a maximum security prison. I've heard basically that if you're in a maximum security prison and you commit suicide, somebody watched you do it because you're in a maximum security prison. Oh, no, there's a 1-minute gap in the tape, and then we don't know what happened at that 1 minute, but that 1-minute gap is in all the tapes. I mean, how stupid do you think we are? I mean, you can at least try to lie. These lies suck. These are you're treating me like an idiot. But long story short, no Epstein files for you. Trump, oh yeah, we're gonna have to send Ukraine more weapons. Wait a minute, whoa. What happened to America first and no more wars? What happened to all that? I thought you said America first, no more wars. Now I'm tired of Putin's bullshit. I'm tired of it. But you said America first and you said no more wars. So you get the picture. But this is also the same person who said, oh yeah, when I get into office, the Ukraine war is going to be over very quickly, probably within the first day I'm in office. You know, the Ukraine war is going to be over. Yeah, that didn't happen. No, it didn't. So basically, the other thing is that there was this flash flood. And I have no idea who would put a goddamn summer camp in a place that earned the reputation Flash Flood Alley. I have no idea who would do that. That reminds me of the people who build their houses in a part of America called Tornado Alley. It's like, if you tell me that there's like a natural disaster prone area, I'm probably not going to build anything near it. Some people are claiming that what really went wrong is that Trump and Doge, I believe, took people out of their jobs at FEMA. And I'm not even surprised that they would do that, because even since the first X-Files movie, Fight the Future, they were either trying to warn us about FEMA, or they had all these conspiracy theories that FEMA was a government within a government and that it was planning to take over using martial law and all this. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But between FEMA and the Federal Reserve, all of these right-wing conspiracy theorists, they want both of those things eradicated. But the courts have already said, no, you can't do that. And they can't fire Jerome Powell. all that Ron Paul and Rand Paul rhetoric about auditing the Fed. It's like they've wanted all of this stuff, and I guess some people would say this is part of Project 2025. They've wanted to do all this stuff like forever, and they're hitting roadblocks to some extent. But the Federal Reserve, that right there is the ultimate, in my opinion, that's the ultimate gate that they can't get through. And Jerome Powell is the real man in charge. This man literally is setting the value of our money. As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't have a Federal Reserve at all, but they put it in there, and it's been in there, and it's going to be there. And anybody who tries to mess with it is going to end up just like John F. Kennedy. So it is what it is. But long story short, this market is very difficult to calculate. It's very difficult to anticipate because of the chaos. All you can do, buy and hold. Buy companies that are trustworthy, that have been around a long time, that make good products, that have strong financials, and hold them. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do. This chaos that Trump has infused, it'll be gone. All you got to do is just remember, 3.5 years from now, he's gone. Somebody else will be in there fucking things up. It'll probably be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Hakeem Jeffries. It'll be one of those two, but I'm pretty much leaning towards Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not saying I want her. I'm just saying I believe she's going to win. But that's it for now. It's like, I don't know what to say to y'all. They just got this whole place so crazy. I don't even know what to say to you. What I do know is next year, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to be in Vietnam, Cambodia, so I'm going to leave y'all to deal with this.
We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Do you want to sanctions him? Lindsey Graham has a sanctions bill on Russia. Do you want him to vote?
I'm looking at it, yeah. No, I'm looking. The Senate is passed a very, very tough sanctions bill. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
To be continued.